All right, guys, so what we got for you today is we're going to show you how to use our replacement terminals to replace these to our color terminals. These are direct replacements. We have them in array of colors: blue, light blue, purple, dark blue. I can get quite a few different colors. So how this goes is I lift it up and place something under it where your terminals are. Sometimes it's on both ends. You can use hand tools. I got the 2 tools for this one already out and prepared for the video. Pretty basic. Remove the end. I keep a tray to keep all my screws so I don't lose them like that. On this amp, all screws are the same, and some amps are different, so you may want to separate them. Cardboard works real good to separate screws. You can just push a hole in it and keep them separated. Again, it's this amp, I'm not going to do that, not worry about it. The main focus here is just to kind of show off how to install these in an amplifier. All right, so there's that. And then the end plate just slides off. And we'll put that to the side. Next thing, these screws have to come out. I've tried to do it on a couple amplifiers with them in, and some it works, some it don't. Just easier to go ahead and pick them out and not worry about it. If your amp's installed, of course you'd have to uninstall it. You can probably do it in place, but you'll have to remove the wires for sure, which will make it a little bit more of a pain. And all amplifiers are a little different, so if you do order these, you will probably want to contact me via email or Facebook Messenger to make sure that we get the proper ones for your amps. So easiest way I have found, if you find an easier way, let me know. 2 flathead screwdrivers. Turn this so that you guys can see. And this is mainly to hold this. If you have somebody helping you, it might be a little easier. That way we can go like this. That'll be easier. And get under this side. Try to go in the center a little bit. And this one. And what I kind of do is just rock it back and forth a little bit. From side to side. And just put pressure on it. Like that. Super important to not put a whole lot of pressure. You don't want to move this back and forth, man. They will break. So be very careful doing it. You know what? I got it down. Go ahead and do this one too real quick. So just be cautious and careful. If you take your time and do it, it's not that bad. Again, this 8 terminal it's a monster, so take your time on it definitely if you're doing that one. We want to make sure that anybody doesn't break amps, and if you want to send an amp in for this done, I can absolutely do that for you. Again, same process for this side. These ones are usually a little easier. Oh, yep, see that one already came off. Just like that. And you want to make sure that your screw holes line up with your screw holes. Don't get it on backwards. And then installation is much easier than taking them out. Again, all amplifiers are different. The spacing between them, the terminal blocking is different. So we want to make sure we get you the correct one for your amplifier. And there's that and that. Just a second, I'm going to grab a Phillips. All right. So since we're going to be touching plexi, go ahead and grab out my white gloves here. Again, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, I will install them free if somebody wants to pay the shipping, but I'm not going to pay shipping back and forth. I'm only keeping these separate because they're different. I don't want to have to dig through them later. Gloves out here. What I'm gonna do is, I got a sweater right here. Cool. We'll use a sweater. Just this right up. Alright, so now what we can do, we don't need that anymore. Screws first that have this ground bar. Just line it up with the screw hole there. I'm only going to go about halfway in that one to start because I don't want to have to flex it for this other side. This one all the way down here. Now these are a high temp filament, which should match OEM ADS. We have tested them in some pretty high temperature applications and haven't had any issues. If anybody melts these things, there's definitely something else you should probably be looking into. Almost back together already. Don't over torque these things. The original ones are never really torqued very good. Just enough to hold it in there. If you're using a drill like I am, it's usually not recommended. Going back into amps from most repair guys. I do it because I've had a lot of practice with repairing amps, but I never torque with it, ever. Looks like we got the one back in, it's just this top one. LEDs back in place like they should be. The cover back on. Especially with this plexiglass, we don't want to torque these things hard at all. I'm always a big believer in doing kind of a sequence when tightening things, so I never go all the way down. When I do this, just like a tire, make sure you rotate. And again, if you want to use a screwdriver as opposed to this, by all means go ahead. It's probably a good idea, honestly. I didn't realize I was going to take this off right when it happened here. Put it up in semi-tight, where the other ones are just in there. This one. Semi-tight as well. And again, most amplifiers you don't have to take the back off. I've probably done 25 amps now where I didn't have to take the back off, and was able just to do it. This with the little LED and the plexi in the way. I've actually used on the Ruthless amps, the back plate that was on there, I was able to put the cardboard on it and pop them off, and they came right off as well. After that, we will flip this bad boy back around and get this one. And make sure you don't strip these threads. I just kind of lightly make sure they go in. Hooking your amp up, of course you don't have to go all the way in with these. Okay. On this end, that's the only two that are that size. New one. That way. An amp I just had sitting on my shelf, so I want to go ahead and do this. It's not going to be installed in anything anytime soon. Trying on the website to go ahead and label what amplifiers do or do not have the same ones. So again, please email me and we will get you taken care of so you get the right one for your amplifier. But that is the process of putting the amp terminal cover colors on there, which I think looked fantastic. Again, if you're not showing that bottom green, I mean, there's a lot of colors that would just pop off on this thing, to match your wire or whatever it is. These are